What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, coming back to U2. Yes, indeed, U2 fans feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi-bobbidi-bop, do me a favor before you do all that stuff. Please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Steve Smith, and this is actually one of Steve's 3 prioritized requests for the month of July for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So, here you go, Steve. Hope you enjoy the show, man. Steve wanted to see me react to this. It is U2 with a song entitled Out of Control. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard this song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, I've heard this song before, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Let's see, this was posted by Dolan C1234, okay? And the video has 1.8 million views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. 05. I get 5th song of the set, probably. U2 Out of Control, Slane Castle 2001 Live HD. Cool. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Letting us open the show. We're a band from the north side of Dublin. We're called U2. This is our first single. We hope you like it.
First single, huh? Okay.
Monday morning, 18 years of owning. I say how long? Say how long? Was one morning, woke the world.
Great pride.
I was so sad, so sad. They were so bad. Show my soul, getting out my soul. I got big ideas, I'm out of control. Boys and girls, go to school, and girls, they make children.
didn't want to have to pause in the middle of the guitar solo. I'm just glad the guitar solo, for the sake of pausing, I'm glad the guitar solo was short. No disrespect to the Edge. I mean, I liked what he was soloing on. I liked what he was playing. I gotta pause, man. I gotta pause. This is from when? 2001? It's interesting that Bono took the time. Okay, I have mixed feelings about it. I'm not sure why he did it. I'm glad he did it, but at the same time, I'm curious why he felt compelled to do it. Is this just something they do every show where they introduce themselves and they introduce the band? Because by 2001, I'm pretty sure everybody is aware, at the very least, everyone's aware that the band U2 exists, you know? For him to be coming out there and saying things like, you know, we're this little band from Ireland, aren't we? And we're called U2. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that people know that. He may just be having some fun with it. Maybe that's just something they've always done from day one. And I respect that. I do, because, you know, maybe there are people in the crowd who have never heard of you. You know, maybe there are people in the crowd who have, you know, never heard your music before. I kind of find that hard to believe, but it's possible, you know? But taking that time to introduce the band, introduce all the members of the band, I like that. I like it when bands take those couple of moments to do that. It makes everybody in the band feel recognized. I was going to say important, but that might be a bit of a stretch. But at least, you know, being recognized for your contributions. That's, I could definitely say that with 100% certainty. This song, the drive on this song, without question, is its strongest attribute. The drive, the feel, the energy, it's all there. It's all there. I could see them opening a show with this. I absolutely could. I could see them starting a show with a song, with this song in particular. It's got all the things that you look for in a show opener. It's got the drive, it's got the energy. The crowd, it seems to me like the crowd knows it because they responded well. Now, maybe that's just because it's U2, or maybe it's because the crowd knows the song. I'm not 100% sure. He did mention that this was their first single. Now, there's two ways that can be interpreted. Their first single off their current album, or the first single they ever had. From what I'm getting, I think he's inferring that this is the first single they ever had. So they're going way back with this song. That's cool. I like that. It's kind of cool to have that little bit of a retrospective of, you know, here's where we came from. This is what we sounded like when we started, and now let's progress. You know, that's kind of a cool thing to do. So everybody sounds good. I'm digging the tune. I'm digging the groove, the feel, the energy, the drive. It's, like I said, it's the strongest part of the song. Everything else, like from a chordal progression standpoint, it's good. Don't get me wrong. It sounds good. It feels good, but I wouldn't call it the strength of the song. No, that comes completely down to feel and drive and energy. Anyway, let's get back into this, shall we? Bring it down. All right.
Some big ideas. Father, I need a land of 500 pounds because we're gonna go over to London. We're gonna score ourselves a record deal. And when we get our record deal, we're not gonna stay in London. We're not gonna go to New York City. We're gonna stay and base our crew in Dublin.
Play to that hometown crowd. There you go.
Because these people, this is our tribe.
I get it.
but I still need to lend her 500 pounds. What do you say, my old man? 500 pounds. I want to thank my old man for that 500 pounds.
Let's be honest here. I'm sure that story has been repeated thousands, if not tens or possibly even hundreds of thousands of times, where aspiring artists approach their parents and say, hey, I want to pursue this. I want this to be a career. I want this to be what I do. I want this to be, where I make my money. I want this to be where, I'm able to provide for myself and for my family. And I want it to happen. I'm going to do everything I can to make it happen. I just need a little startup capital. It's one thing to go to your parents with a business plan. I'm going to open up a pottery shop. Let's just do pottery. I'm going to open up a pottery shop. Here's my business plan. Here's my suppliers that I've already checked out. Here's a space that I've already found, to lease. I can get a great lease for 5 years to start. I've already got my suppliers. I've already got a marketing plan. I've already looked at the demographic area. I've already got business partners. I just need a little startup capital. It's one thing to come to your parents like that than to come to your parents and say, I have a dream. I want to become an artist. Whether that artist is as a musician, as an actor, as an author, whatever the case may be. You don't have a business plan. You don't have a lease. You don't have a demographic. You don't have any distributors. You literally have nothing but maybe a band. You're a member of a band and you want to go and get, like back in the day, you want to go and get yourself a record deal. So you got to record a demo, right? And you need some startup capital to make that demo happen. Now, if you were a parent and you have your child coming to you with a business plan for an actual business, selling an actual commodity versus a child with a dream. Let's be realistic here. If you're going to take, now remember, $500 back in the 80s, that was nothing to sneeze at. $500 in the 80s was a pretty good chunk of change. Are you going to give your child $500 and send them into the world with that business plan, with that research done, or are you going to give that $500 to the dreamer? How many parents would say no? A lot. Let's be honest here, okay? Get your head out of the clouds, get your feet on the ground. It's impossible. That will never happen. I'm not going to throw my money away. I'm not going to have you waste your time. Go get a job at a bank, something like that. How many cool parents are there that would say, you know what? Follow your dream. Follow your dream. I'll do this for you one time. I will give you $500. Go achieve your dream. Don't you dare fail. Go achieve your dream. How many cool parents out there are like that and would be willing to do that? I am very fortunate that I had a parent like that. I am very fortunate. And I know money was tight. She was a single mom working at a school as a PE teacher. Not making a lot of money. But yet somehow she would, whenever I needed equipment, she would somehow make it happen. Whenever my bass head blew out, you know, the tubes cracked or whatever, she somehow found the money to, you know, get those things repaired and get it fixed. And she never once tried to discourage me from following that dream. And there is absolutely no possible way I can repay her for that. There's just no way, because I was able to go and pursue my dream and make my dream come true because of her support. So that's a very, very rare and very special thing. So I can absolutely relate to what Bono's talking about here. And it's very cool. Can you imagine if his father had said no? Now what? Now what? There's a very strong possibility if his father had said no, there's a very strong possibility U2 would not exist. Think about that. $500 could have stopped U2 from ever existing. Really makes you think. It really does. The universe is a strange place, man. It really is.
My old man, 500 pounds. I want to thank my old man for that 500 pounds.
Yep.
I want to thank Larry Mullen's father for 500 pounds. The Edge's father for 500 pounds.
Oh, so everybody took this
Clayton's family for 500 pounds.
So it's 2,000.
And by now, you've probably all given us about 500 pounds each too, so thank you. I'm out of
Yeah,
control.
Each.
I'm out of control. I'm out of control. I'm out of control.
And whip the crowd right back up again. Nice. I'm sure from there he held that note for a little bit and then they went right into the next song, more than likely. Good song. Not the most impressive song I've heard from U2, but it felt good, man. It really did. It had a good message in there. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was U2 with a live performance of a tune entitled Out of Control. This was a request from Steve Smith, and this was actually one of Steve's 3 prioritized requests for the month of July for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So, there you go, Steve. Hope you enjoyed the show. I got a score. I'm going to give the score. We're going to talk about it. And you might want to brace yourselves, folks, because we're going to talk for a while. This is not going to be a short review. Get comfortable. I put my armrest down. We need to get comfy for this for sure. We're going to get a little deep. We're going to get a little philosophical. So for those of you that are into that kind of thing, you're going to be along for a good ride. If you're not into that thing, you're probably going to be bored out of your minds. I don't know. Let's wait and see how this goes. Let's start with the score first. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that live overall presentation, I'm going to give that a 7.3. Yep, 7.3. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay. First things first, 7.3. What does that mean? Well, a 7.3 would translate to a really good skill rating because overall, I think this was a really good presentation. It would also get 4 to 5 stars and a B letter grade. So there you go, a 7.3, really good skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? So glad you asked. I'm going to start in a really weird place. I'm going to start with the live show. The song, I would honestly give probably about a 6 point... 6 point... if I'm being honest, I'd probably get about a 6.2, 6.3, somewhere in there. It's a pretty good song, okay? If you look at the song objectively, it's a pretty good song. The chordal progression, it sounds nice. It's real easy to follow. It's nothing all that impressive about it. The most impressive thing about the song, the strongest factor about the song, if I'm being honest, is the groove, the feel, the drive of the song. Yes, absolutely. That felt nice. I made the comment that this could be a show opener. Very easily could be a show opener. It sounds good. It's got the drive, and the crowd responded well to it. Now, maybe the crowd responded to every single thing like that U2 played. Maybe Bono could go out in the middle of the stage, drop trow, and take a major dump right there on the stage, and the crowd would pop just as loud. I mean, you will find crowds like that. I guarantee you. It doesn't matter what you do. Doesn't matter how sloppy you play. The crowd will absolutely lose their minds. I remember one time when Van Halen was doing their reunion tour with Sammy Hagar, when it was Van Hagar, and the band I was in currently at the time, we all said, let's get tickets, let's all go watch. Man, I have never been more disappointed. That was a horrible show. Eddie was drunk off of his gourd. He could barely stand, and his guitarist playing suffered greatly for it. Sammy Hagar was way too busy signing autographs during the show, stopping, in the middle of singing to sign autographs for people. Now, I respect that, but at the same time, don't stop singing, sign the autograph afterwards. I could tell Michael Anthony was getting really upset, and so was Alex. They were not happy with that show. But the thing is, despite the fact that they sounded absolutely horrible, Eddie in particular, Eddie was unforgivably horrible that day. Despite that fact, every single time Eddie would play something, whether it was sloppy or not, the crowd lost their ever-loving minds. So there are crowds like that, where you could literally go on stage, drop a deuce, and, the crowd will think it's the greatest thing ever. I have absolutely no respect for crowds like that. I just don't. I mean, guys, come on. It's one thing to pop for your favorite artist. It's one thing to support your favorite artist, but at the same time, don't lose your minds over garbage. Don't lose your minds over, I hate to say it, figuratively and literally, don't pop for because all that does is let the artist know that they can get away with it. So, coming back to U2 now, I don't know if the crowd's popping just because it's U2 or because they actually like the song. The crowd seemed to recognize the song. I mean, as soon as the song started, the crowd popped. So, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure how that one works. But in any case, it came off well in a live setting. Looking at the live show, to boot, they covered all the check boxes. They did. Crowd interaction was there. Stage interaction was there. Stage presence was there. Stage energy was there. Showmanship was there. Yeah, they had the whole shebang. All 6 checks were checked off. That's how we moved up from like a 6.2 to about a 6.7, 6.8. But wait a minute, I'm giving this a 7.3. What the heck? I love it when bands find that one song or that one moment in the show where they connect with the crowd. And they'll do things like, you know, talk to the crowd, reassure the crowd, everything's going to be okay. You know, I know that times are tough. I know that, you know, we don't live in the greatest world right now, but keep your chin up. It's going to get better. That's one way. Or telling a story like you two did. And that story resonated well with me because I was not exactly in the same position, but a very similar journey. You know, I use the analogy of, you know, the parenting, and, you know, how many parents would actually, you know, take a chance on their child's dreams, you know? Because let's be honest, artists, there's no game plan. There's no game plan. People can say they have a game plan. They really don't. Not really. Not when it comes to being an artist. You really are kind of taking a chance on that. And hopefully most musicians who have some sort of a backup plan, because I'm going to be honest with you folks, the chances of success are extremely slim. I will be the first to admit I got lucky. Absolutely, I got lucky. What are the odds, you know? But at the same time, you have to believe in it. You have to work hard for it. You have to bleed and sweat and grind for it. And the more you do, the better your odds are, the better the chances are that you will have success, okay? But at the same time, as a parent looking in, I try to put myself in my parent's shoes. If I were a parent, if I were my parent, would I have been as supportive? Would I have taken that chance that my mother took? And that would be a very rough thing for me to do. Now, being the position I'm in and the journey that I took, I'm gonna absolutely, if I ever have a kid, and if I ever have a kid and my child comes to me with the same story, I want to be an artist, I want to be an actor, I want to be, you know, a writer, I want to be a musician, I just need some help. I will absolutely do it, because my parents, well, my parent did it for me. My parents supported me unquestionably. Never tried to deter me, never tried to say, get your head out of the clouds, never tried to do any of that. 100% supportive at all times, and somehow miraculously financially backed it. I don't know how she pulled that one off. So I would absolutely do the same. I know I would. But how many parents out there would do that though? Not many. Not many at all. So to hear that story of the entire band, all 4 members getting that money together, all 4 members coming up with $500 from their parents. What awesome parents they had. And look where they are now. I know statistically we are literally talking I don't know if it's a million, but I'm willing to bet at least 1 in 100,000 chance of them actually having that success. But look at the success they had. What a great investment. $500 from each parent. And you better believe, I'm sure every single member of U2 has repaid that in kind. Absolutely they have. Remember that $500 investment you made into the band? Yeah, here's a $5 million house. Here you go. This is my way of saying thank you. Don't think for 1 second U2 didn't do that. I'll bet you they did. Because that's what you do. You show that gratitude. It's a great story. It's an inspirational story. It's the kind of story that needs to be told. And to all those parents out there that have children who are aspiring to be artists, I'm not going to tell you how to parent. I would never be that presumptuous. I would never be that arrogant. I'm arrogant. Don't get me wrong. I am absolutely arrogant, but I'm not that arrogant. I'm not going to sit here and try to tell you how to parent. All I'm going to say is take those chances. You know, don't be afraid to take that chance on your child. Because here's the thing. If you don't, your child may find success in some other field, but there's going to be that resentment. There's always going to be resentment. I know the child will say, oh, I'm so glad you talked me out of it. No, they're not. No, they're not. They're not happy about that whatsoever. And every parent right now is going, well, I don't want my child to fail. That's your fear? That's your fear? You don't want your child to fail? What's so wrong with failure? Here's where we're going to get philosophical. What's so wrong with failure? What's so bad about that? You know what failure is? First of all, failure is a misconception. There is no such thing as failure until all attempts and all efforts cease. What I mean by that is, while your child may not have success, that doesn't mean they failed. You know, it gives the child an opportunity to build their character. It gives the child an opportunity to build that resilience. It gives the child an opportunity to learn that there's more than one way to make something happen, not to give up. Yes, it's going to be rough. Yes, we're going to be faced with non-successes. But if you can earn that determination, if you can get that determination, then you haven't failed yet. You'll get back on your feet and you will try again. What a great life lesson to teach your child. Isn't that an awesome, awesome lesson? I love it. Like, it goes back to the whole thing with sports. I love sports. I love the fact that kids play sports. I cannot stand when sports give every single player on every single team in every single league first place trophies. I hate that. I can't stand that. Because not every team is going to win the championship. One team will. They get first place out of 8 teams in the league. There's the second place team. They should get second place. Absolutely. Third place team. They should get third place trophies. And then from there on, if you want to give everybody else a participation trophy, I guess I'm okay with that. As long as there is a very clear order of they won first, they won second, they won third, and everybody else got a participation trophy. What's wrong with that? There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's a good thing to teach children the spirit of competition, how to win with humility, how to win first place and be humble about it. And at the same time, you don't get first place, you lose, okay? You lose the game, you lose whatever. And to lose with grace, there's nothing wrong with that. It builds character, it builds inner strength, it builds resolve, it builds determination. What great life skills to have. At the cost of what? A piece of plastic. What a shame. Because I guarantee you, later in life, there's going to be other times where competition is going to come into play. Oh, what's that? You want to get that scholarship, that one scholarship that 500 people are going for? Okay, go for it. Go for it. Compete for it. Try to win it. If you don't win it, how are you going to handle that? Are you going to go postal? Because you didn't learn how to accept defeat with grace? Possibility. Are you going to give up on life because you just don't know how to handle non-success? Possibly. You know, I mean, because you didn't learn how to deal with loss properly, with grace. It's such a long diatribe. I could go on about this, and I've already kept you all for way too long as it is. But support, but set boundaries at the same time. You know, I will support you this far. I will back you. I will support you financially this far in your endeavor, but this is all I'm going to give you. Okay? If that doesn't work, you're on your own for the rest of the journey. I'll still be in your corner. I'll still be cheering for you. I'll still be rooting for you. But I'm only willing to contribute this much, okay? I think that's fair. It sets expectation, okay? And I think that's kind of what, I'll bet you anything, that's probably the conversation that the members of YouTube's parents had, you know, with their child. I will give you the 500 pounds. Absolutely. This is all you're getting. I'm not gonna support this any further than this. You take this 500 pounds and you go and you succeed. Okay? Plain and simple. And you gotta respect that. You absolutely do. So parents, don't be afraid to take those chances. Set expectation, set boundaries, absolutely. Your child will thank you for that. They may not at the time, but they will thank you, I guarantee you. Okay? And don't be afraid to let your child have those non-successes. They're great opportunities to learn life lessons. And remember, you don't actually fail until you stop trying. Once you stop trying, once you give up, once you put that movement and the effort and you put it aside and you stop it, now you fail. That's the failure. Absolutely. Okay? So until that time, you have non-successes. You trip, you stumble, you fumble, you hit the ground. And there's nothing wrong with hitting the ground. As long as you're willing to put in the effort, have the heart and the fortitude and the determination to get back up, dust yourself off, and try again. And believe me, in this industry, you're going to be doing that a lot. So be ready for it. Anyway, taking that into account, this is how I came up with that 7.3. I thought it was a great message. I really did. I thought that message was fantastic. In a story that was very well told, didn't take nearly as long as my story took. But it was very engaging, and he got the crowd into it as well. So you got to give him credit for that. So this is how I come up with that 7.3. I feel good with that score, and that's where we're going to stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have a 7.3, which is a really good skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B letter grade. Take your pick. I don't care. Whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I've spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hope I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then, by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.